Our story begins with our protagonista, Satomi Yuki, who's arriving to his friend's house. As they enter, his friend complains about his grades, cause if he get another one bad, all his manga collection it's gonna be toast. Also, is there another problem to our boy? And we can see how someone gets out from a room inside the house. Then the Satomi's friend's sister appears in front of them, and has a very scary look. Despite Satomi's friend treats her sis like a normal person, Satomi is very afraid from her, being pale just for look at her at the eyes. The girl gets confused when her brother come with a friend to play around. Her brother explains that they just came here to study, while Satomi tell us that he have met her before a few times, but even with that, he keeps being afraid of her. All because her flashy hair and her long nails that she show up even more as get closet o Satomi's face, who gets cornered against the wall and get even more scared because all the piercings she have. The worst part for him is that every time they meet together, she always glares at him like a prey or an enemy. This it's too scary and weird, but try to keep himself cool as she recognizes him, and Satomi greets her shyly. She asks him if it's smart for study, and even when Satomi tries to deny it, his friend reveals that he is the top of the class. The girl just surprises a little and then just walks away, letting Satomi with a face so pale that his friend gets concerned about him, but Satomi says he's fine. Satomi don't know what to do with this situation, and even in his own head he feels very terrified. He even mentioned that the girl hates him. Out of nowhere, she appears in front of him calling Satomi to go with her, as he gets nervous again and asks himself where they're gonna go. To his surprise, his friend's sister offers him some sweets, because according to her, it's important to have some treats when you have to study. She give him a bottle and ask him to pour it himself, getting Satomi even more confused. He thought she was gonna to do him something bad, but it's a pretty normal thing. While he poured the drink at the glass, the girl glares at him intensely. Then she stops him holding tight his hand, because if Satomi adds so much of that drink, it's gonna be a mess, and then takes the bottle to pour it herself. The result, it's a very small part of the drink in the glass. It's so little that Satomi even complained with her about being almost nothing, and knows that if they add more it would be better. He says that he'll do alone, but then the girl gets upset with him, thinking that Satomi is saying that her Calpi's drink isn't good, and he deny it before something bad happens to him. He go with her friend, feeling very sad because he have to settle to a very little part of the drink. Some moments later, his friend gets tired from all the study, so Satomi go to return the glasses to the kitchen. Then he catch his friend's sister looking intensely the bottle of Calpi's. He don't believe what is looking at, but the girl it's truly trying to prepare more Calpi's again. She do it as Satomi showed her before, then gets a glass of drink exactly same as Satomi's. As she drinks it, Satomi can't stop looking at her nervous, then she stops and gets so happy that she can't help but smile at the same time. Satomi gets happy too, and gets that his friend's sister might be a nicer person than he thought. Sometime later, we find out Satomi and the one sen having a meet together with some snacks. She bought a lot more than they needed, even when Satomi said that he was fine without any of them. But now it's too scared from her to repeat it loud. She try a smile asking if it's good, but this just scares Satomi even more despite her fear. Satomi thinks that it's a pretty nice person. Then she remembers something and tells him that they encounter again at her living room on 6 p.m. This makes Satomi pretty scared as he looks how the girl just walks away from the room. For his good surprise, it was just to have a dinner with her and his friend, with a delicious and cute handmade curry with a bunny face. She gets upset with her brother because he forgot to tell Satomi that dinner it was to be served at the 6, and he just asked for sorry. Satomi, like always, thought he was gonna to be beaten up, and now it's relieved because isn't gonna happen. Satomi feels how the curry smells good, and then his friend presume how sweet and delicious it's his sister's curry. She gets mad with them, and scream loud that they start before the food gets cold. Satomi, afraid, thanks her for the food and take a bite. It's so delicious that he can't help but smile, and the girl gets flustered by her expression so bright. Satomi star pouting a lot of compliments about the food, and how similar it is to the one he ate when he was a child. Before he could compliment the presentation too, the girls start getting upset, asking him what that's supposed to mean. Satomi understands that she is mad for something he said, then try to save himself, explaining that the food it's pretty good, and she asks him if that it's true. He say yes, and then the one san gets even more flustered than before, offering him seconds if he wants. Like this, Satomi find out that his friend's sister, it's a pretty shy girl. After the dinner, Satomi tell to the one san that is going to home. He thanks her again for the food, because she made it very delicious. Before he can leave the place, she hold him by the shoulder and tell him that can't leave just like that. Then Satomi sits at the table again, scared of what's going to happen this time. He start overthinking about the entire dinner, so thinks that this time he has to be the one who offers something in return to her. Satomi thinks in how his friend's sister could order him anything she wants, like a queen bee, from massage her shoulders to make him prepare kalpis to her. He thinks this wath the curry she made before, and when she calls him, Satomi jumps screaming. He'll do everything she ordered to him. To his surprise, again, she just give him a piece of cake with a bored face. After all, for she, it's important to finish the dinner with something sweet. Satomi keeps thinking that when he finish this, it will be his turn to give her something. But the one san just wants to he eats and go home. Satomi recognized the cake, it's the same one that he buys every time he can at his favorite shop, and thinks that the one san go there oftenly. She affirms that she go a lot more than him. She then tells him how she always buy it to her birthday and every time she can too. Then she find out that she just said that she eats a lot, so to cover it, show him a coupon with a lot of stamps. With one more it will be full, showing to him proudly. Satomi don't know how react to this, so just say that it's amazing from her. She then gets mad and think that he is making fun of her, but Satomi quickly deny it. He explains that he just never imagined that someone go to the same shop as him, so he got a little happy. After confirm this, the one san invites him to go together then next time, and offers him to pick what he wants from the shop, and remarks that she isn't going for the points. This time, Satomi found something in common with his friend's sister. Moments before our boy leaves, his friend asks his sister to go to the store to buy a few things. Because of this, she also offers to accompany Satomi to his house, since it is already late. As it is nighttime, she does not want anything bad to happen to him, so they decide that the sister will escort him. However, we see her wearing a rather unfriendly expression at the idea of going out accompanied by someone else. Even so, as we already know, this is most likely just a misunderstanding on our boy's part, and in the end it turns out to be an extremely tender gesture from the one san. Moments later, Satomi ends up completely alone with her, unable to remain calm, since he still does not know what she is really like. In addition, her intimidating gaze does not help at all. On the contrary, it only makes him more nervous. Satomi is aware that he has no idea how to proceed in a situation like this. Although he has already confirmed that his friend's sister is not as terrifying as he initially thought, she is still a girl, and as such, he feels he should break the silence with some kind of conversation. Unfortunately, he has no idea what to say or do to entertain her, and suddenly, she pulls on his clothes. Before he can think anything improper, the sister asks him where he was looking. It is then that Satomi realizes he was about to crash into a phone booth, as he had been lost in his thoughts and not paying attention to his surroundings. Noticing that he has been quite distracted for a while, she comes to the conclusion that perhaps he is thinking about taking a detour. However, she does not want that to happen, since her intention is for Satomi to arrive at his destination safe and sound. For that reason, she had already planned the entire route, which surprises the boy, who for the first time realizes that she is the one who has misunderstood him. She promises that she will take him home without him suffering even a single scratch. However, her stern gaze inspires more fear than anything that could happen to him if he were walking alone. Despite her good intentions, Satomi continues to feel anxious. That intense and frightening look unsettles him. But he is afraid to reject her and make her angry, so he decides to go along with her. It is then that he begins to think about everything she has done for him since he arrived at his friend's house, and he realizes that he still has not found a way to repay her. With that thought in mind, and taking advantage of the fact that she is going to the grocery store, he decides to accompany her. This means taking a detour from his way home, which puts the girl in a very bad mood. She feels that Satomi is not listening to her, despite her concern, and she begins to get seriously angry. Satomi, frustrated at being misunderstood once again, grows irritated by the situation. Meanwhile, she simply urges him to go home already, bringing the night to an end. Moments later, they both finally arrive at his house. Despite having walked the entire way together, Satomi did not manage to talk to her properly or repay her as he wished. She insists that he go inside, but then Satomi gathers his courage and tries to express his feelings. In this way, he tells her that he had a good time with her. Just hearing that makes her very happy, even though she tries to hide it. All of this happens while Satomi continues praising her for the food she served and for everything she did for him and his friend during the study session, even if she considers it unimportant. Taking advantage of the moment, Satomi explains that he did not want to deviate from the route she had planned, but rather that he wanted to accompany her to buy her a gift as a token of gratitude for all her kindness. This time, he hopes not to be misunderstood, fearing the opposite. At the very least, he wants to thank her sincerely, and that is exactly what he does, leaving the girl completely in shock. She claims that she only does all of this for her brother, but Satomi confesses that he has never had a walk home with a friend before, and that made him think that she might be much kinder than she appears. Hearing this causes the girl to get angry again, and she asks him if that is why he spent the whole time looking around at everything. Satomi, embarrassed, apologizes. She then asks him how long he plans to stay there and urges him to go inside his house already. Once she is left alone, she remembers that Satomi called her kind, and at that moment we see her nervous and excited, as it is the first time in her life that someone has ever called her that. Meanwhile, our protagonist believes that, to her, he is nothing more than a child and that his speech did not have the slightest impact. Some time later, we see our boy again as he once more arrives at his friend's house. The latter, for his part, seems very happy to have him by his side again. Just like last time, the two of them are getting together to study an activity that keeps them quite busy, especially since exams are just around the corner. For Satomi, frequently visiting his friend's house has become completely normal. He does so both to hang out and to review exam material. However, this time, something different occupies his thoughts. He wonders whether his friend's sister will be home. The memory of what he said to her last time still haunts him, and he fears how she might react if they were to meet again. To his surprise, and we do not know whether it is a blessing or a curse, she suddenly appears in front of them. As always, her delinquent-like gaze seems to warn them not to dare cross the line with her. Nevertheless, we already know the truth hidden behind that terrifying facade. Despite everything he has experienced with her so far, Satomi still feels that she is an extremely intimidating girl. Her piercing stare and rebellious appearance give her an aura of danger that unsettles him. That same impression was what, during their first encounter, led him to misunderstand all the sweet gestures she had toward him, until it was too late to correct himself. Because of her striking appearance, if it can even be called that, her multiple piercings, and those sharp eyes, our protagonist becomes anxious every time he sees her. And, as expected, this has been bothering him quite a lot. Deep down, he is still afraid of her, even though he knows he should not be, especially because the last time, she was incredibly kind to him. That memory reassures him that, despite appearances, she is a good person. At that moment, his friend calls out to his sister to greet her. It is then that Satomi understands that he can no longer keep being afraid of her. With effort, he decides to greet her as well, despite his nerves. Sadly, all of his resolve vanishes in an instant when he sees that the sister is completely wrapped up in her blankets, staring fixedly at a point in the room. If she was already frightening before, now she is even more so, but not in the same way as before. This time, Satomi's fear is different. a mix of discomfort and confusion at seeing her so gloomy and hidden beneath the covers. Noticing his presence, she stands up and walks straight toward him, with such an intense and piercing gaze that all Satomi can do is remain still, expecting the worst. She stops face to face with him, stating that she already saw him, though she does not seem happy about his arrival at all. On the contrary, her expression shows that she is genuinely annoyed. Apparently, she had planned to go back to sleep, and that is likely why her mood is far from good. Either way, the truth is that Satomi is completely terrified. Whether she is in a bad mood or not, she does not stop staring at him with those blade-sharp eyes. Thinking that he has intruded where he should not have, he tries to flee quickly, apologizing for having bothered her. The girl attempts to stop him, since she has not finished speaking to him yet. However, just as she does, her blanket falls to the floor. And that is when the real reason for her discomfort is revealed. She is wearing adorable pajamas with little bear patterns. That was what she had been trying to hide, and what had made her so nervous from the very beginning. After all, who would want to be seen wearing something so embarrassing? As expected, his friend's sister becomes so embarrassed that her immediate reaction is to get angry. Still, she quickly explains that she did not have much of a choice. Her grandmother gave them to her, and she does not want to part with them for anything in the world. For Satomi, this is a completely unknown side of her. Even so, he likes it. He finds it cute just like everything she has shown of herself so far. Moments later, we see that studying has become much easier for Satomi and his friend. In fact, things go so well, and they achieve such good results that the best idea they come up with to take a break is to play video games. However, Satomi soon discovers that it might not have been such a good idea after all. This is because his friend has been beating him over and over again for quite some time. Satomi keeps promising that he will win the next match, but the truth is that it does not seem like that will happen anytime soon. Because of the noise they are making, the sister suddenly appears, slamming the door open. Immediately afterward, she glares at them with those sharp, annoyed eyes of hers, making Satomi wonder if this time they really went too far with the commotion. And apparently, he is not wrong, since the one-san positions herself right in front of him to question him directly. Why are they having so much fun when they are supposed to be studying? Faced with this situation, Satomi tries to justify what is happening, saying that they are only taking a short break. However, his tone does not sound very convincing. This causes his friend's sister to start doubting him, thinking that they are actually avoiding studying and that they are nothing more than a pair of lazy boys. Nervous, Satomi tries to convince her that they have only been playing up until that moment, but he soon realizes that she does not believe a single word he says. That is when, unexpectedly, the girl decides to take matters into her own hands. Without saying much more, she joins the game, picking up one of the controllers to play with them. This gesture surprises Satomi, who does not understand why she suddenly joined when she had just scolded them for wasting time. While she adjusts the game together with her brother, Satomi cannot help but feel nervous, but this time it is not because he is afraid of being scolded or making her angry, but because she is now standing far too close to him. Since she is a girl, he cannot help feeling anxious when he notices that their shoulders are almost touching. Still, discovering that his friend's sister likes video games makes him somewhat happy. It makes him think that, even though she is scary, he can enjoy her company without worry. However, when he feels like he is about to step on her hair, he suddenly pulls away, and in the process accidentally hits his head, leaving both of them in shock. When Satomi realizes what he has done, he jumps back, retreating several steps while apologizing to her, fearing the worst. What hurts him the most is not the bump itself, but the fact that, having been caught off guard, he reacted so dramatically and ended up letting out an extremely embarrassing scream. He had been so distracted by the idea of stepping on her hair that he failed to keep a proper distance between them. With little expression, she asks him what he is doing. After that, she invites him to come closer again, though it does not seem to be with any hidden intentions. Rather, it is simply because watching from the corner is not ideal for him. She explains that it is much more fun when everyone is together in front of the television. This makes the protagonist happy, once again confirming how kind his friend's sister can be. That is, of course, until she boasts that she is going to beat him, making Satomi once again think that she is a truly terrifying person. As soon as the match begins, the sister appears extremely confident, certain that she will win without any trouble. However, in the very first round, she is defeated with surprising ease. Convinced that it was nothing more than a careless mistake, she demands a rematch. Unfortunately for her, the situation does not improve at all. On the contrary, it only gets worse. In the end, she is completely defeated, revealing a new side of herself. She is absolutely terrible at these kinds of games. In fact, she is even worse than Satomi himself. After so many consecutive losses, she complains non-stop. Satomi, not wanting her to feel bad, thinks that the best course of action would be to change the mood a bit and make her forget how easily she was beaten. For that reason, he suggests that she might already be a little tired of that game and proposes taking a short break. However, the sister grabs him by the arm, which makes Satomi extremely nervous. She asks him for one last rematch, wearing such a sad expression that it is impossible not to feel sorry for her. Thanks to this moment, Satomi learns something new about her. His friend's sister does not like losing under any circumstances, and she has no intention of letting him go until she has claimed a victory. Moments later, the two friends finally return to studying. Our protagonist's friend complains that the fun has come to an end, while Satomi, wearing a tired smile, assures him that they have already had enough fun, and that it is now time to focus on the books. However, wanting to escape for at least a little while longer, Satomi's friend suddenly stands up and runs off to look for something to eat. Satomi simply watches him leave, without any surprise, as he had expected that move from the moment he arrived. In this way, he is left alone in the room. The problem is that he is not completely alone. His friend's sister is also there, sitting in silence, and that silence, far from calming him, begins to make him increasingly nervous. The girl has not said a single word since her brother left, and that frightens him deeply. For that reason, Satomi cautiously approaches her to ask if she is all right. She replies that nothing is wrong, but her voice sounds much weaker and more subdued than usual. Satomi, attentive to even the slightest change, notices it immediately. That voice is not normal. To him, hearing a girl as intimidating as her speak like that can only mean one thing: something is wrong. And to make matters worse, he notices that the sister is trembling like jelly. Satomi's thoughts spiral as he tries to deduce what is happening, until, after much reflection, he finally reaches a conclusion. She is very angry about not being able to win earlier in the game. Curiously, this is the first time he does not overthink things to the point of imagining the worst possible scenario. Although, if you asked anyone else, they would say that what she is going through already is that worst scenario. While they were playing, Satomi did not care who won or lost. He was simply having fun with the two siblings. But everything changed when he decided to look at the score. That is when he realized it was already too late. She had lost an overwhelming number of matches. That defeat had inevitably frustrated her. This confirms Satomi's suspicions and makes him even more nervous, since he had considered this the perfect opportunity to start getting along better with her. Because of that, he decides to steel himself and tries to approach her. Unfortunately, the sister is so upset that she stops him cold, shouting that if he dares to touch even a single strand of her hair, he will regret it. Such a blunt response leaves Satomi frozen and heartbroken. Unlike other times, he now feels that she has rejected him completely, leading him to think that perhaps she hates him. Dejected, Satomi immediately apologizes. He explains that, for him, it was never a competition to determine a winner, but simply a way to have a good time with his friends. He even goes so far as to say that, seen that way, maybe it was all rather boring. These words catch the sister's attention, and she calls him by his name. She then explains that, even if it did not seem like it, she actually had a lot of fun playing with him, and she also confesses that she would like to do it again someday. Hearing that makes Satomi feel strange sensations in his chest. Something warm, something gentle, something he still cannot fully identify. Unfortunately, at that very moment, his friend appears with the food. Without meaning to, as he enters the room, he trips and touches his sister's legs. That simple contact triggers an immediate reaction. The girl twists in pain and lets out a sharp scream that echoes throughout the room. After insulting her brother for such carelessness, everything finally becomes clear to Satomi. At last, he understands. She was not upset because she had been defeated in the game, nor because she had lost so many times. The real reason was that she had been enduring the pain of her legs having fallen asleep, and she did not want anyone to get close out of fear that they might touch her and make the pain unbearable, just as, sadly, happened. Once again, Satomi had completely misunderstood her just as usual. Right after this incident, Satomi shows the girl the bag containing a thank you gift he brought for her, as a token of gratitude for the curry she cooked for him the other day. His friend's sister does not understand what he is referring to, nor why he would do something like that. However, ever since she made that curry for him, Satomi has felt so happy that he could not stop thinking about returning the favor. Fortunately, the girl is already hungry, so the gift might be useful anyway. He would have told her earlier, but because he got distracted playing, he completely forgot about it. When she looks inside the bag, she is left in shock. What he brought her is a collectible sweet she likes a lot so much so that she blurts it out loud. Immediately afterward, she realizes that her reaction slipped out, but Satomi is not particularly surprised. The only thing he did not expect was that she even knew about these items, since he bought the sweet thinking it was only popular among a very specific group of people. The girl claims that she only found out about them by chance, but since he went through the trouble of bringing it for her, she will at least accept it, as she has no other choice. This makes Satomi happy, because at the very least, she accepted his gift. Moments later, he notices her wearing a strange expression as she stares at her own hand. Satomi does not understand what is happening, and just like us, he has no idea what kind of expression that is, much less why she has it. She then begins to speak and suddenly pulls out a small figure of an adorable little monster, which she immediately recognizes. Apparently, that expression was one of intense affection and excitement, on the level of a true fan. At first, the protagonist does not understand what she is talking about, until she starts rambling a bit, speaking directly to the little figure. That is when he realizes just how much she likes these characters, since she seems to have extensive knowledge of the series. Satomi apologizes, believing that she already owned that same figure. She claims that it was just a coincidence and tries not to make it obvious that she bought it simply because she thought it was cute. But she decides to accept it anyway, as a way of acknowledging the protagonist's efforts. Hearing this, Satomi casually says that if she does not want it, he could keep it himself. The moment those words leave his mouth, his friend's sister becomes so upset that she turns to glare at him as if he were her enemy. At no point, after all, did she ever say that she did not want it. Satomi immediately realizes that he chose the wrong words at the wrong time and tries to correct himself. But this only escalates into an argument. The girl gets so angry that her expression changes completely, and she declares that she would never do something as cruel as throwing away such a beautiful gift like the one the protagonist just gave her. Besides, it is not as if this were the only one. She owns an entire collection of the same character, which she proves by showing him a photo. Shortly after realizing what she has just revealed, she becomes deeply embarrassed and quickly tries to hide her true feelings behind her usual cold stare. In an attempt to calm the situation, the protagonist suggests trading the figure for one of the keychains he owns, keychains that his friend's sister recognizes instantly. She certainly has no intention of throwing away any of her figures, but she would be more than happy to exchange items with him. Since Satomi insists so much, she has no choice but to accept. Even after being exposed, she continues to maintain her cool girl facade. After handing him the keychain, Satomi realizes just how much she loves cute things. Whenever she holds them in her hands, her expression softens into something far more gentle and sweet, completely different from her usual intimidating appearance. As they spend the afternoon together examining their new keychains, the two of them realize how similar they are to each other. This makes the protagonist genuinely happy, because despite all the misunderstandings and difficulties, he managed to make his friend's sister smile.